In Parsha Ki Tetzei, one of the things we're going to learn after the beginning of the Parsha, you go to the second stage, in chapter 22 in Parshah of Beis, it says, Lo sireh shor achicho seyo nidachim v'salamta mehem. You shall not find a person's, your brother's, shor, or sheep, his ox or his sheep, nidachim, wandering away, v'hisalamta mehem, and you're going to hide your face from him. Hashev tishiveim lachicha. You have to go ahead and return it to your brother. So what is this verse actually talking about? We actually have a similar verse that's compared. The Rambam points out there is another verse that we have that's earlier on, and that is Ki sifka shor oivecha chamro toeh. If you see your enemy's animal going further away, you have to go ahead and return it to him. Here the verse is adding to us that even if it's much further away, that it's nidachim, it's a lost animal, it's far away, you have to go ahead and take it in, and you have to go ahead and return it to him. This law of Hashavas Aved over here is seemingly pretty difficult because of the fact, as Rashi points out, that what's happening over here is that the animal is far away. It can happen over and over again. The guy can lose it, you return it, he loses it again, you have to return it. And then the verse goes on to tell us, V'chein taseh lecha moro, his donkey, simla so his clothing, and then l'chol avedas achicha sher tovad mimenu umatzasa. Anytime your fellow loses something and you find it, lo suchal hisalem. You cannot hide yourself from these things. So oftentimes the case, you see a lost object, you're like, I don't want to deal with it. It means that if you actually pick that up, you might be obligated. If you see it, and according to many, if you just simply pick it up, you're now obligated in finding the rightful owner. We learn from one of the verses over here, as Rashi points out, and the Sifsei Chachamim point out, that you have to wait until the guy comes to search for you. But the extra word oso in the verse tells us over here, you actually have to go out of your way to try to find that individual. So when you live in a place where they're mostly Jews, so then you're dealing with a major issue of Hashavas Aved, and you have to go out of your way to announce it many, many times to make sure that you're going out of your way to try to find the individual. In scenarios when you live in an area which is Rov Goyim, mostly non-Jews, you have many more leniencies to be able to keep the object and not have to even announce the object that you actually find. But the pasuk says, Adrosh Achicha, the verse says, Adrosh Achicha Oso Vasheveh Solo. You have to keep going, you have to hold on to it until he goes and requests it from you, or at least you put in tremendous amount of effort to show that you want to be able to return it. So here the Torah is telling us that you have to go a little bit out of your comfort zone. Usually you find a lost object, anybody lose it, you ask a few times, maybe you wait a week, and then you keep it. The Torah tells over here, if you're in a place where it's mostly Jews, or if you know it's a Jewish object, you have to hold on to it until your fellow goes and searches for it, number one. And number two, you have to go out of your way to request to find the rightful owner of it. And here the Torah tells us about the importance of the value of someone else's objects, whether it's going to be something as valuable as their animal, which is something extremely valuable for them, or something less valuable that's perhaps their shirt, that they're not worried about the life of it, they're not worried about whether it's going to survive, it's just a shirt, or anything that can possibly be owned by your fellow. These are things that a person has to go out of their way, push out of their own comfort zone to be able to hold on to and return someone else's lost object.